energy crisis. Since 2014, Colombia has emerged in an energy crisis that has caused a rationing period around the country. But how this crisis began? El Niño phenomenon. El Niño means the little boy or Christ child in Spanish. It's a phenomenon where temperatures go from normal to hotter temperatures. It can significantly influence weather patterns and ocean conditions. This means it can also make the rivers dry.
The sun is the most plentiful source of energy we have. It's about 4.6 billion years old with another 5 billion years of hydrogen fuel to burn in its lifetime. That gives us a renewable energy source that won't run out anytime soon, and that can be used without releasing greenhouse gases or other harmful byproducts. We can use that energy directly for hot water, lighting, heating, and even cooling. We can convert it to electricity to power anything from camper vans to suburban homes to shops to industrial processes. Solar could be the largest source of electricity in the world by 2050. Solar 101. How solar panels work. Commonly known as solar panels, photovoltaic modules are used to generate electricity. Solar panels are made from photovoltaic cell, photo meaning light, and voltaic the production of electricity. Photovoltaic cells have two layers of semiconductors. Similar to a battery, one layer is negatively charged while the other positive. These layers are protected by two outer shields made from special glass. The semiconductor absorbs photons, or the radiation from the sun, and transforms it into direct current electricity, also known as DC. DC current flows to the inverter, which transforms the power into alternating current, or AC. This process takes place billions of times per second and is noise-free. The power flowing through the inverter is piped through a bidirectional electric meter to the main panel, which distributes the electricity throughout the house. The bidirectional meter displays net power used minus net power produced. When the solar system generates more electricity than your use, the meter spins backwards. What happens at night? The excess electricity generated during the day is fed back to the main panel. It's that simple. Solar panels have a life expectancy of 30 to 40 years. On average, utility costs rise by 6.7% annually. That means a $150 electric bill today will probably around $720 in 25 years. Allow the sun to be your source of energy. Save the planet. Cut down or eliminate electrical spending. Increase property value. Invest in solar today.
Hydropower. Hydropower or hydroelectricity refers to the conversion of energy from flowing water into electricity. It is considered a renewable energy source because the water cycle is constantly renewed by the sun. One of the first uses of hydroenergy was for mechanical milling, such as grinding grains. But today, modern hydro plants produce electricity using turbines and generators. The mechanical energy created by moving water spins rotors on a turbine. This turbine is connected to an electromagnetic generator which produces electricity when the turbine spins. There are two main types of hydroelectricity production: dams and run-of-river. Hydro dams utilize potential energy from dam water to produce electricity. A dam is a large barrier constructed to raise the level of water and control its flow. The elevation created by the dam creates gravitational force for turning the turbine when water is released. Some dams also contain an additional reservoir at their base where water is stored to be pumped at the higher reservoir for release when the electricity is in demand. This is referred to as pumped storage hydro. The second form of hydroelectricity production is run-of-river hydro. Run-of-river still uses turbines and generator but relies on natural flow rates of rivers, diverting just a portion of water through turbines. Because run-of-river hydro is subject to natural water variability, it is more primitive than dam hydro. There are various sizes of hydro plants that produce electricity. Large hydro, greater than 30 megawatts, small hydro, 100 kilowatts to 30 megawatts, and micro hydro, less than 100 kilowatts. The Hoover Dam in the United States is a whopping 2,074 megawatts, which is enough to serve 1.3 million people of all renewable energy sources. Hydropower holds the largest share of worldwide electricity production.
Geothermal. Geothermal refers to producing energy from the internal heat of the earth. The internal heat of the earth is generated from radioactive decay of minerals and consistent heat loss from the earth's original formation. Geothermal wires are drilled into earth's crust at an approximately depth of 3 to 10 kilometers. The heat is extracted with a variety of methods, but in the most cases is drawn from the earth using water and steam. Hot water from the earth may be directly extracted to heat homes and buildings. This is done either by directly circulating hot waters through buildings or by pumping it through heat exchanger that transfer the heat through the buildings. Geothermal heat can also be used to produce electricity in geothermal power plant. Electricity is generated when geothermal heat produces steam and turns turbine on a generator. The major regions of geothermal development are in the most volcanically and tectonically active regions of the world. Though geothermal energy is currently a small player in the world energy mix, one of its key damages is its reliability and consistent power generation, which means it can provide base load electricity. Concerns with geothermal include the accidental release of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide emission stored in the Earth's groundwater, which is often used to carry geothermal heat to the Earth's surface. Additionally, drawn heat from the Earth's crust can, if done irresponsibly, lower the ground temperature below the surface for geothermal energy production are relatively high. It is expensive to carry out seismic sensing, test well drilling, conformation testing, and other necessary preliminary investigations to ensure that your new geothermal plant will be capable of meeting desired production. Well, that's geothermal.
Nuclear power plants are thermal power stations which generate electrical energy from heat. It consists of numerous buildings and facilities, the most important of which are as follows. The turbine building houses several turbines as well as the generator necessary for electrical power generation. The containment building where the nuclear reactor is housed is made of meter-thick reinforced concrete. Inside this building, nuclear reaction takes place where water is heated up. In order to understand easily the underlying principles, the following is the description of the most important components of a nuclear power plant that uses a pressurized water reactor. In the reactor pressure vessel, the nuclear reaction and the associated release of thermal energy takes place. In a pressurized water reactor, as in this case, the reactor pressure vessel stands about 12 meters tall. The walls are about 10 to 5 centimeters thick. Inside is where the fuel assemblies can be found. In pressurized water reactors, about 150 such assemblies are installed. A single fuel assembly is composed of many fuel rods. The fuel rod is about 5 meters in length and has a diameter of about 23 meters. The actual nuclear fuel is inside each fuel rod. Small nuclear fuel pellets composed of enriched uranium or plutonium make nuclear fission chain. Pressurized water reactors, about 150 such assemblies are installed. A single fuel assembly is composed of many fuel rods. The fuel rod is about 5 meters in length and has a diameter of about 23 centimeters. The actual nuclear fuel is inside each fuel rod. Small nuclear fuel pellets composed of enriched uranium or plutonium make nuclear fission chain reaction possible. In a fission chain reaction, thermal energy is released. Water is needed in order to absorb the thermal energy and keep the chain reaction going. Inside the vessel, the water is heated to over 570 degrees Fahrenheit. The water does not boil. However, since the pressurizer maintains the water pressure constant around 160 bars, the heated water is eventually pumped to a heat exchanger, also called steam generator. These are typically in the form of a shell and tube heat exchanger. Hot water flows through the U-tubes, heating up the metal pipes so that any water inside the heat exchanger begins to boil. The resulting steam is eventually fed through a set of pipes to the turbine building. The steam first drives a high-pressure turbine and then is typically fed to two low-pressure turbines. All of the turbines are connected by spinning shaft to the electric generator.
How does a wind turbine work? You've probably seen a wind farm. But do you know how wind force is converted into electrical energy? We are going to show you how wind turbine works. Each wind turbine has a wind vane on the top, has indicated direction. This allows the turbine to rotate the tower and face the wind. The planes also rotate in their axis from maximum resistance. Wind force, that is kinetic energy contains in moving air currents, spins the blades. This is the design to fully capture the energy. They can be as long as 60 meters each, made of very light and resistance materials, that each of movement. This is why it can produce energy even with very light winds.
Solar energy is radiant light and heat from the sun that is harnessed using the range of ever-evolving technologies such as solar heating, photovoltaics, and solar thermal energy.
Hydropower or hydroelectricity refers to the conversion of energy from flowing water into electricity.
Geothermal. Geothermal energy is energy harvested from the internal heat of the earth.
Nuclear power is the use of nuclear reactions to release nuclear energy to generate heat. It can be obtained through nuclear fusion, nuclear decay, or nuclear fission.
A wind turbine, or alternatively referred to the wind energy converter, is a device converts kinetic energy to electrical energy.
Hmm.